Hello everyone, this is Aldrine Guerrero from Ukulele Underground and welcome to Ukulele Underground Songs Made Easy. So what we do here is we take a song that we teach over at Ukulele Underground and we simplify it so that it is more suitable for beginners. So we're going to give you a nice and simple set of chords. We're going to teach you how to play those chords. I'm going to give you a nice and simple strumming pattern to use, and we're going to play it together so that we can kind of get a good idea of what the song sounds like. Okay, I'm joined by Aaron, the voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And by Kahai, the legend for again. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
So these two boys are going to be helping me teach you this song today. So Kahai is going to be manning he's in control panel. Basically he's going to be manning the different camera angles. Aaron has has control of the cameras, making sure that we get a good view of the close-ups of the ukulele. So it lets you guys kind of get a good look at what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to be teaching you the song called Koke'e. Now the song is by Dennis Kamakahi, one of my favorites, and it's probably because I live in the island that the song talks about. I'm from Kauai, and the song is called Koke'e, and Koke'e is our natural forest over on the pretty much on the west side of the island, but it goes all the way up north. It's a big place. Okay, and Koke'e, very beautiful, got luscious greenery, got great great ecosystem, got birds, and got plants and stuff. It's amazing. If you guys have never been there, please check it out if next time you ever come to Kauai. Okay, so first off, we're gonna learn 3 simple chords. First chord that we're gonna learn is a G chord. Oh yes.
I didn't want to disrupt you, but
Sure.
you want to show what it
Oh
sounds
yeah,
like?
yeah, sure. So that you guys can get an idea what we're gonna be learning today. Here we go. This is what Koke'e sounds like. Thank you, Kahai. Hupua. Hupua e mana o ikawekyu o Koke'e I kanani o ka aina o ka noe po ai o ka lalau hea inala I ka ua li'ili'i o ai mea ku'ule aloha nevermore to say goodbye nevermore to say goodbye. Alright, so that's the first verse and chorus of the song Koke'e. Now the challenge of this, so there's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's not the chords, it's not to hold them down, but it's actually the chord pattern in the chorus to the song. So we've gotten used to a lot of chord patterns that repeat. It's pretty much the same 3 or 4 chords that goes over and over again. Well, this isn't the case with Koke'e. So we're going to be playing, these 3 chords, but we're going to be doing them in a bunch of different combinations. And to help you guys strum along with us, we provided you folks with a downloadable PDF down in the description below, right? So if you guys click on the description below, click on that link, it should send you to a PDF file that you guys can download. You guys can follow along. You guys can look at that, and it shows you the chords and the chord patterns that we're going to be using for this song. Okay, so without further ado, here are the chords. We're going to learn a G chord. Pointer finger goes in the C string 2nd fret. Ring finger on the E string 3rd fret, and your middle finger on the A string 2nd fret. Let's do a string check, making sure each one of these strings gets its full value. So you don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear that. What you're probably doing is your pointer finger is a little bit too close to the fret wire, which are these silver lines that goes through your fretboard. And a little bit of an advice I like to, make sure that my fingers are nice and curved. They got a nice arch and reaching the notes that they should be reaching, the strings and the fret that it should be playing, and it's not touching anything else. All right. And another advice that I could give you guys: take this wrist and just kind of swing it around a little bit, because you have three fingers that are occupying a small amount of space. Those fingers sometimes can get bunched up, depending on how big your fingers are. So I have long fingers, if you guys can kind of see in comparison to my fretboard. My fingers are kind of big and long, so I need to make room to fit all three fingers in this small space. So what I do is I swing this around. My wrist kind of goes to the side here, and what it does is, because my fingers are coming from an angle to play these notes, instead of my pointer fingers coming from here, and then my middle fingers have to go around that to go underneath it, and then the ring finger has to go around that. So from here, it's just a nice, from where my wrist is, they all just have a nice curve, instead of one's going this way, the other one's going like this, and one's going like that. All right, so that's some good advice to help you guys start playing your G chord. Another one is to kind of use this. I like to refer to this as the pillow, because if this is the neck of your ukulele, you can rest it on this pillow right here, this nice little piece of skin in between your pointer and your thumb. So that nice piece of skin right there, you want to put it on the neck of your ukulele. It can go all the way down here, and that's kind of where you're supporting your uke. So I always talk about points of contact with the ukulele. This part of my thumb and this part of my pillow on my hand. So with that being held, my wrist is already kind of that angle that I was talking about, and then I play my G chord around that. So sometimes my thumb is not back here, sometimes my thumb is up here, but for this part, a good comfortable way of holding it is to just let the pillow do its job. Okay, our next chord is a C chord, which is simply your ring finger on the A string 3rd fret. So if we do a string check, we hear all 4 notes nice and clean. Okay, so from the G, in order to switch to the C, I'm just releasing these 2 fingers here, my middle and my pointer finger, and that's where that pillow kind of comes in handy, because even if I release it, because there are 2 points of contact, that pillow and right at the top of my thumb, it keeps my ukulele still stable, so that I can lift up on this, and my ring finger lifts up and goes down 1 string. Because we were on the E string 3rd fret, then we're going to go to the A string 3rd fret, which would give us our C. Okay? And next up, our chord D7 is just that. So I like to kind of think of it as my main chord is G, and then my 2 other chords are just derived out of this first chord that I'm playing. So the D7 is your pointer finger on the G string 2nd fret and middle finger on the E string 2nd fret. So remember your G right here? So there's a string in between that space, the 2, right? If you lift it up, both fingers, pointer and middle finger, up 1 string, you're gonna go from that up 1 string, not 1 fret, but 1 string. You're still left with that space in between. That gives you your D7. So the switches between the 3 chords should be nice and simple, because they're all derived off of that same G chord shape. So that's why I chose a D7. And this is what a lot of people refer to as Hawaiian D7, because it doesn't necessarily have the D note in it, for those of you folks who are advanced ukulele players. So using this Hawaiian D7 makes things a lot easier for us, playing in this key to get that 7 chord. So from G to C. And let's practice the switch, because we are going to be switching between G and C, G and D, but also between C and D, so that we can we have all different combinations. There's 3, so there's going to be those combinations, right? So from D, I like to keep my ring finger there anyway. So just because I'm only using these 2 notes right here to play the D7 doesn't mean that I'm gonna take my ring finger away. So my ring finger is always here at the ready for my G chords. So If I'm gonna go to my G chord, I can go there right away from my D7 because my ring finger is nearby. So although I'm not fretting any notes with my ring finger, you guys can kind of see it from this angle. Let's go look from there. Let's focus. There it is. So my ring finger is always here at the ready, so that it just goes down. It almost acts like an anchor, and then put the other two fingers down for my G chord. Same thing for my C chord. From the D7 to the C, it's just one string down. Notice that my ring finger never left the fretboard. Okay, so we can now switch between G and C. We can switch between G and D7, and we can also switch between D7 and C. Okay, and as usual, our strumming pattern is a nice simple down, 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 down. And more than ever, this is this is pretty appropriate for this song because we want a nice warm rhythm pattern. So the skin or flesh of your thumb is going to be what we're going to be using to strum our ukulele. So you can just take your hand. You can either rest your fingers underneath here, the top part of your ukulele, and you can just take your thumb and just graze it through like this. Sometimes it's your 12th fret, sometimes it's your 14th, sometimes it's your 16th fret. That is a sweet spot. So figure it out for your ukulele. For myself, it is the 16th fret that I'm kind of running my fingers, and that's a sweet spot for me. So just taking that flesh, putting it on my G string right here, and just dragging that finger down so that I can get a nice drum. So let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's the meat and potatoes of it. Now we know the chords in order to play this song. Let's take a look at the chord patterns, which is gonna get a little bit tricky. I'm gonna run through this line by line. Okay, so the first line we have G C 3 times. So G C G C G C, and then D7. Okay, so notice that each GC is gonna get 2 of those slashes, and those slashes means one of these strums. So if we're counting 1, 2, and then switch 1, 2 back to G, 1, 2 back to C, and remember, always remember that if you're still having a hard time doing the switches or having a hard time holding these chords, don't worry about it. You can always watch this again, but follow along as best as you can. And and you can always, like I said, always watch this video. Take your time, take it at your own pace. You don't have to learn all this stuff now. I am going to be playing it, and you can play along with me. But I'm going to be doing the play along so that eventually, once you do get the hang of it, you can kind of catch up with me, on the play along. But try your best, Don't just because you mess up on one chord, you can always just catch it on the next chord. Okay, so let's try that out. So G C, G C, G C, then D7. Okay, so here we go. 1. Follow the the page that we showed you earlier. And for those of you folks who are just joining us, click on the description below. There should be a link where you guys can download the PDF that we're following along with. Okay, 1, 2, ready, G, C, G, C, G, C, then to D7. Let's try it one more time to make sure we got it. 1, 2, ready, go. G, C, G, C, G, C, D7. All right, so that's our first line, and we can, if you can think of that as your first 4 bars. So each one of those gets, each 4 beats gets 1 bar. So that's, what people refer to as the first 4 bars. Now let's take a look at the next 4 bars. So the next 4 bars is G, then C, then G and C again. So we did this in the first one, it should be familiar. Then G to D7, and back to G. 2, 3, 4. So once again, G, C, G, C, then G, D7, G. Okay, let's try that out together. 1, 2, ready, go. G, C, G, C, G, D7, and G. Okay, now that's our entire verse right there. Our verse is 8 bars long. Let's try to put all these, all 8 bars together. So we split them up off into 2 bars of 4, or 4 bars, 2 4 bars. Okay, so we're gonna take those 2 4 bars, and we're gonna create an 8 bar verse. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. G, then C, G, then C, G, C, then to D7, G, C, G, C, G, D7, back to G. All right. And always keep in mind that if you can't follow along now, if you're still having a hard time with these chords, take your time. If you want to concentrate on getting that G first, then by all means, just don't worry about the rest of the chords. Whenever it comes to the G part, just just play your G chord and play along with me on the G chord. Then wait until the next G chord comes around again, then play along with the G chord. Or if you want to just practice the D7 chord, same thing. Just wait until the D7 chord comes around, just strum that. Maybe put your fingers down, or just don't strum, and then strum again, just so that you can kind of follow along, and then and just make sure you try your best. Okay, so next up, let's take a look at the chorus of this song. So for the chorus, it starts off with a D7, 1 full bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then C, 1 full bar. So this is the easiest 4 bars. C. Back to G. And D7. So nice and simple. Once again, it's D7, C, G, and D7, all getting 4 beats. Okay? So 1, 2, ready, one more time. D7 to C, and to G, and then to the D7. Okay, so we have the next 6 bars. So the last 6 bars. Okay, so the last 6 bars goes G, C, G, C. So we did that before. So that's it's a familiar thing that we can come back to. G, C, G, C. Then we got a G, D7, and then another G, C, then another G, D7, and then G. So all of those except the last G is gonna get 2 beats each. So 2 strums down. Ready? 1, 2, follow along. G, C, repeat. G, C, G, D7, back to G, C, G, D7, and G for entire bar. Okay, and that's it for the chorus. Let's try to put the whole chorus together. So the first 4 bars and the rest of those 6 bars right there. Let's put them all together. Ready? 1, 2, ready. D7, C, G, to D7. Gonna go G, C, G, C. D7, one more G, C, G, D7, to G. Okay, So remember that that whole thing. So like I was mentioning, it's going to be a different combination of G, C, and D7. It's not the same three chords in the same pattern over and over again. But there is a pattern, but it's not quite as repeating as what we're used to. So it's a little bit more of a challenge. So make sure to check out that PDF that you guys can download it, or just take a look at it. Like bring it up on your computer screens, follow along as best as you can. Okay, and once again, if you feel like you're not doing it up to speed, don't worry about it. Everybody learns at a different pace. Sometimes some people can get this really easily. Sometimes some people take a minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, maybe a whole day, sometimes a whole week. So it depends, where you are and your own personal speed of how you learn the ukulele. Okay, so here we go. Follow along as best as you can, and you can always watch it again. 1, 2, ready, G, C. So let's do the first 4 bars. It's kind of like an intro, and then we'll do the first the whole verse all over. So here's a D7. So from the beginning of the verse. He mana o ikavekyu o koke'e ikanani o ka'aina o kanoe po ai o kalalau hea inala. We're in the chorus. I kaua li'ili'i and o ai mea ku'ule aloha nevermore to say goodbye, nevermore to say goodbye. Eho imaya na verse again. Ikahikina ikala vela vela ikekai havana vana ipo ipu makoloa. That's where I'm from. O kalalau hea inala i kaua li'ili'i and o ai mea ku'ule aloha nevermore to say goodbye, nevermore to say goodbye. Mele au verse again. No ka beauty I kauka iu iu I koke'e pua I ka au I kanoe po ai o kalalau hea inala I ka ua li'ili'i and o ai mea ku'ule aloha nevermore to say goodbye, nevermore to say goodbye. All right, so that was all 3 verses of Koke'e. This is a lovely song. So if you guys ever want to listen to the original, it's by Dennis Kamakahi. Also, Pure Heart with our good friend of the show, Jake Shimabukuro. It was featured on Pure Heart 2. Well, not this song was featured in Pure Heart too. He's part of the Pure Heart band, but they did an awesome rendition of this, and I hope you guys like it. Make sure to check that out. Let's play it one more time, but before we do that, I just want to say thank you, folks, for checking this out. And I think we have one more Thursday, and next week Thursday we're gonna learn one more song, and after that we're gonna be doing a jam for this for this month. So for those of you folks who are new to Songs Made Easy, the jam is all the songs that we learned throughout this month. We're just going to be jamming it out, of course. So we teach songs every week this month, and it kind of gives you guys a chance to make sure to practice these. You can, like I mentioned, I keep mentioning over and over again, you can watch this as much times as you want, and that kind of gets you prepared so that when we get to the jam, you kind of jam along. You can test your skills to see how far you've grown as far as learning these songs. Okay, and if you've missed any of them and you want to get the PDFs for the feature files here at Songs Made Easy, sign up for our newsletter, and we're gonna send you those files via the newsletter, so you can get those as well. But if you sign up for UU Plus, you can you have access to all the PDFs that we've done so far. Okay, so and what is UU Plus? That is a subscription service we have over at ukuleleunderground.com. If you really want to take your ukulele playing to the next level, you go to ukuleleunderground.com and sign up for UU Plus. Okay, so let's go through the song one more time. Here we go. Let's play all 3 verses of Koke'e. 1, 2, ready. So first 4 as an intro, 2, ready, go. To the D7. Pupuai he mana o ikawekyu o Koke'e ikanani o ka'aida o kanoe o ai o kalalau hea inala i ka ua li'ili'i e noi mea ku'ule aloha nevermore to say goodbye, nevermore to say goodbye. E ho'i mai ana i ka hikina i ka la vela vela i ke kai havana vana ipo ipu makoloa o ka lalau hea inala i ka ua, the rain, li'ili'i endo ai mea ku'ule aloha nevermore to say goodbye, nevermore to say goodbye. Mele au no ka beauty i ka uka iu iu i Koke'e pua i ke au i ka noe po ai o ka lalau hea inala i ka ua li'ili'i o ai mea ku'ule aloha never more to say goodbye. Never more to say goodbye. Alright, so that was Koke'e and Songs Made Easy. If you guys are interested in learning the original key that we have over at ukuleleunderground.com, make sure to check out ukuleleunderground.com for the full tutorial. We also show you a nice little picking pattern. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, we have a full play along over on our YouTube channel and still at the ukuleleunderground.com website. So make sure you check that out. We have hundreds of songs for you to learn. We have lots of tutorials, thousands of hours, and just some amazing videos. I hope you guys like it. So make sure to check out ukuleleunderground.com. This is Aldrine Guerrero, and for those of you folks who are part of UU Plus, please stay tuned for one-on-one coaching where I show you one-on-one how to get through whatever problems that you guys are having with your ukulele. So it kind of lets me coach you. That's why it's called one-on-one coaching. It is live. So for those of you folks who want to know what that is and want to check that out, sign up for UU Plus. This is Aldrine Guerrero, and aloha.